Hey, sorry for interrupting. This is Perry Kurtz, and I just want to tell you I've got a new podcast. I know you're saying, oh, great, another one. Well, this one's different. It's called Happy News with Perry Kurtz. Happy news, good stuff, things to make you feel good about life. We're going to be talking to famous and infamous people that are friends of mine and discussing the happy news. You can listen to us on iTunes, Stitcher, CastBox, and wherever you listen to your podcasts, as well as watching us on Binge on This on YouTube.
It's your boy Bryan back on the microphone. Before we start off today, I want to say Black Lives Matter before we get started. Rest in power to Ahmaud Arbery, Breonna Taylor, and of course Greg Floyd. Black Lives Matter. And if you don't agree with that, fuck you. You know what I mean? So let me get started. You are tuned into What's Hood with me, FC, your boy Cabron, right here on the microphone. You are tuned into episode, I want to say 34, 35. We're still making it work. We're still, trying to make the best of broken situations. It's been a heavy couple of weeks, months, whatever you want to call it. This is my last, let's call it check-in, you feel me? And as time has gone on, it's funny how the way life works. At times, we get offered opportunities or we miss out on opportunities, and yet something seems to happen and it's like lightning in a bottle. And amongst all of those things, sometimes sometimes you get lucky with the message you want to spread or change or whatever, or what have you feel me? Sometimes you're fortunate enough to be able to give out a message when people need it the most, you feel me? So like I said, you're tuned into What's Hood with me, your boy Cabron, aka KFC, a Golden Eye Foods Productions right here on the Binge on This network, home to Happy News with Perry Kurtz, The Reading Ronin, hosted by the homie Bryan, Sam of All Trades, hosted by the homie Sam. Of course, the brand new Rolling 420s, dog, get in tune with the Thelonious and the gang, you feel me? And of course, the flagship of the network, El Capitan of everything, this, that, and the other, with the legendary Bryan and Sam, you feel me? Thank you for liking, subscribing, leaving, ringing the bell, listening to us on Spotify, Apple, YouTube, wherever else you get your podcasting from. We do appreciate you. Thank you for engaging. Thank you for the whole nine, you feel me? We do appreciate you guys listening. We do appreciate you guys, following up. I'm sorry I haven't been around. Like I was saying earlier, life kind of tends to move in a funny way. So when you go through a few things, it's kind of like you're back at one, you feel me? And with everything that's been going on in the world between the coronavirus bullshit, the fucking, the quarantine ending bullshit, these protests and this cause that has been ringing out since the young homie Trayvon Martin, got murked. So I want to take this time to, refresh back to where I was at before the whole COVID shit, and kind of give us a refresher, because Black lives do matter. And if you're some type of Mesoamerican, if you come from Mexico, if you want to be Chicano from out here, you feel me? And you come from those environments and the whole nine, and you feel some type of way about our black kinfolk, our black cousins from a continent, an ocean away, I got some bad news for you. USA, you fucked up. You got it twisted, dog. Because whether you want to believe it or not, if you're proud to be Mexican, if you're proud to be from this side of the planet, dog, you are indebted to an Afro-Latino man. You feel me? Black Lives Matter. On a personal level, dog, I'm done mourning. It's all rest in power. May death speak to the living in a type of way in which they bring about change. You feel me? I said it once, I'll say it again. Mesoamerican culture, the culture here in the Americas, has a different relationship with death. It really, truly, genuinely does. There is no heaven, there is no hell. It's all cyclical. So what you're seeing right now is the last throes of a system that needs to die off, a system that's corrupt, a system that's it's fucked up, dog. Fuck the ops. And fuck anyone else that wants to hold us down in power, you feel me? I said it once and I'll say it again. When it comes to governments on this side of the planet, dog, on this side of the planet, they're never for us. They're never for us, the people. They're never for the impoverished. They're never for the quote-unquote minorities, you feel me? But Black Lives Matter, and I'm not here to to harp on the tragedies and death, dogs. You got social media. You know how that shit goes right now. What I'm going to do today, I'm going to celebrate Black life. I'm going to celebrate our Black kinfolks and cousins. I'm going to celebrate them because of them, Mexico was able to become free, you know? A few episodes, 10 episodes ago. My bad, dog. I missed out on 5, maybe 6, but we making it work. Like, you know, the last 2 episodes I made were about Miguel Hidalgo before the COVID, were Miguel Hidalgo and Jose Maria Morelos. And the last point I left off was Morelos had been executed in 1815 for treason, let's just basically say, you feel me? Now, just to retread the conversation, just to bring us back to where we had left off. If Miguel Hidalgo brought about the ideology of a revolution, of being liberated from a crown, of, in the age of enlightenment, walking away from the old ways of thinking, Jose Maria Morelos united the indigenous and the mixed seeds together. And Vicente Guerrero, the Afro-Mexican, he led the charge, you feel me? So again, Miguel Hidalgo does El Grito de Dolores, or El Llanto de Dolores, however you want to look at it. Jose Maria Morelos carries the burden, brings the people, and the people move. And in 1810, when Miguel Hidalgo did that cry, Vicente Guerrero ended up following Jose Maria Morelos. They ended, like, you know, 1810 comes around, hey, yo, we can be free, we don't got to listen to the crown, blah, 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 yada, yada, whoop-de-whoop, let's get it. So they did it out and they went out to go get it, you feel me? And I got a few notes here that I'm going to read off for you guys. I'm going to read what I can, you feel me? So he joins Morelos in 1810, and, you know, throughout Morelos' beginning victory, he's there with that fool, you feel me? You understand that when Morelos came to Hidalgo, or came, you know, brought army to Hidalgo, he brought the people, he brought the masses. And within those masses, there was this individual who's, if I'm not mistaken, his father was mestizo, so, you know, European and indigenous, and his Vicente Guerrero's mom was African mestiza, which is African and indigenous, you feel me? It's one thing that, let me just pull aside from this real quick, and let me explain something to you guys. Let me explain what I do with Hood for. I'm here to remind us that we are the root of the indigenous. We are the forebearers. We are we are their shield. We come forth. We come to protect them. You feel me? Just the exact same way children protect their parents and the whole 9 XYZ. You feel me? So my intent with my dialogue is to remind people that we're indigenous. I don't care if you're European indigenous. I don't care if you're, what's the word I'm looking for? African, Asian, like it doesn't matter, because at the end of the day, the important thing, the thing that unites us underlying all of that is the fact that our culture comes from the indigenous side, from this side of the planet. And this side of the planet that has to be protected, that has to be preserved, that has to be preserved and then furthered, if that makes sense. You feel me? We have to find the means and the ability to take their ideologies, their spirituality, their custom, the way they view death, the way they had relationships with one another, and we have to bring that to the forefront. And, you know, Vicente Guerrero is known for his quote, "La palabra de mi padre es sagrada, pero mi patria es primero." And the literal translation is, you know, the word of my parents is sacred, but my patriotism comes first. You know, and you're talking about a patria, or to be a patriot in a place where the indigenous people weren't viewed with value. You feel me? They weren't viewed with equality. They weren't viewed with compassion. You feel me? We ask the Spanish, ask the English, ask whoever the fuck you want that got here on the boat how they view us, dog. It's a thing. So, you know, Vicente Guerrero joins Morelos And when Morelos gets captured and dies, he joins forces with some other lieutenants. And he just continues to fight for 5 more years. Remember, this is a decade-long like endeavor from the ideology of independence all the way to the fulfillment of independence. You feel me? Like I said, it's a difficult conversation to have when you're jumping all over the place. You feel me? So, Vicente Guerrero and his legacy to liberate Mexico happens to come through. You feel me? He ended up joining forces with Agustín de Iturbide, which I told you guys about when I was talking about Miguel Hidalgo. And he was that fool that ended up fighting both for the crown and then for the independence of Mexico. You feel me? So in reality, in the whitewashing of history, you're going to get people talking about Iturbide as the actual literal reason why Mexico was claimed independent. You feel me? But truth be told, it's these colored individuals that brought the people together that were able to bring up an army of the people to, what's the word I'm looking for? Bring the army of the people to fight for their liberation of crown that was notion away and ideology. Like, it's a whole thing. So the homie, he becomes a general, he becomes a commander, the whole nine, and he comes up with the Plan de Iguala. And the plan of Iguala is kind of like, helping set up a monarchy, helping, build back. Because in Guerrero's eyes, in order for indigenous people to be free and liberate back again, he felt that they need to go back to the way they used to run things. You feel me? Back in once upon a time when you had kings and queens. So for Guerrero, that was the thing, you see? That was dead ass the thing. Like, I can be a king in an era where black people were marginalized, where he himself as an individual wasn't respected. He didn't, it's one of those things where, like, if you think this racism is occurring or whatever, like, dog, I got some news for you, homie. You feel me? Like I said, Vicente Guerrero liberated Mesoamericans with the help of Mesoamericans. Like, it's a dialogue, you feel me? So he ends up helping liberate Mexico. He ends up having to, come up with the Plan de Iguala, which proclaimed, by the way, let me read this properly. All inhabitants without distinction of their European, African, or Indian origins are citizens with full freedoms to pursue their livelihoods according to their merits and virtues. So at the end of the day, Black Lives Matter for Mexicans because an Afro-Mexican fought for that. He fought for equality. Black Lives Matter because they're with us, dog. You feel me? They may have been brought here on a boat. They may have been sold as captives. Like, it doesn't matter. At the end of the day, when they made it here, our culture, our parents, our grandparents, our great-grandparents' culture accepted them, intermingled, had kids in the whole nine. You feel me? There's like a ground of good, maybe 10 to 12% of Afro-Mexicans, Afro-Indigenous, Afro-mixed in Mexico, from Oaxaca to Guerrero to Veracruz. It is Veracruz. Yeah. You feel me? I'm working with what I got. You feel me? And Vicente Guerrero helped liberate all of that. He helped with that whole liberation. For Mexicans, and I'm going to speak to my community right now, my Mexican community. For you motherfuckers to go out there and say Black lives don't matter, or where the blacks wear fucking kids wearing cages, dog, shut the fuck up. Shut the fuck up. A lot of you that want to say, where were they, where blah, blah, blah. You drop the N-word like it's fucking going out of style, dog. I can't with none of you motherfuckers, you feel me? All of you swear, and don't, dog, this conversation is bigger than itself, you feel me? If I keep it a stack with all of you, like, a lot of you are disrespectful, and like, a lot of you are fake flag flyers, you feel me? You all sit there and post up your little social media posts and, try to talk down to others, but homie, I got your cards, dog. I got them all. And that's a funny thing too, that applies to those that are associated with my tribe, you feel me? And I see this shit, dog, and it sickens me. Let me just finish off on Guerrero's life, and then we'll get into my discussion with like outside and whatever. You feel me? So the homie, they end up winning the fucking the revolution. They end up winning independence. They end up being independent, and Agustín de Iturbide becomes president. right? So Guerrero, being Guerrero, leads a rebellion against him, but it fails, right? So then he runs against, whoever the fuck else won, and he wins the presidency. Now here's where anti-blackness comes in. This is where the oppression of the indigenous individual comes in, you feel me? In which the United States had a black president in 2008 to 2016. Mexico, home sweet home, corazón de mi corazón, cielito lindo, dog. He was our second. Número dos. The state of Guerrero is named out after him. Jose Maria de Morelos, right there, bam, boom, you feel me? Vicente Guerrero was shot and killed for trying to establish a monarchy. But more importantly, he was killed because he was an African indigenous man who was able to be voted by the people and to a degree loved by them, you feel me? Because once again, someone of mixed descent helped lead to liberate our ancestors from a crown. So when I say Black Lives Matter, I say that with all heart, dog. Vicente Guerrero got murdered, executed, you feel me? And now to touch upon my personal life, when I came to the States, dog, my own raza rejected me, dog. My own gente, my own raíz, my own root, my own culture, my own community. Motherfuckers that look like me, speak like me, sound like me, fucking go home and eat the same fucking food that I do. Rejected me, dog. Talking about, you don't know English, fool. Why do we want to get into it with our parents? So what recourse did I have? Human beings are social interactive creatures. This quarantine has touched on anything. Is the fact that that's that. I remember walking home from school. It was elementary, you feel me? Trauma will affect you in many different ways. But I remember walking home from school and just feeling defeated to a degree. Because motherfuckers like me didn't want to associate like me because they didn't want to. If I keep it a stack, dog, at that age, you didn't want to be Mexican, fools. Let's keep it real. You wanted to be white. You wanted to sacrifice this gold skin for something that'll give you a break in life, dog. I can't relate. I can't relate at all whatsoever, because whether here or in Mexico, my people, my culture, my community has always been the floor, dog. That old saying remains. Nos trataron de enterrar, pero se les olvidaron que somos semillas. They tried to bury us, but forgot we're seeds. Yeah, that part, dog. And it may have taken my whole lifetime to see these motherfuckers come together. And I may not agree with it sometimes, fool. I'm gonna keep it a stack with all of you. Like, I take issue with how this shit motherfuckers say sometimes. Because the reason we're divided is because of motherfuckers over here. Yeah, motherfuckers over here, dog. You motherfuckers that speak this language and try to come up on this game and try to remove yourself from your culture, you feel me? Black lives matter, dog. They really fucking do. You feel me? And if you don't think that, if you want to hit me with some bullshit ass statistics about whites get more abused, nah, dog, they're the majority. They got here on a boat, you feel me? Remember that the black population is only 13 to 15%. Maybe 20% if you include all of the Western Hemisphere. All of it. From fucking the furthest reaches of Canada, whatever the fuck that is, to the bottomest reaches of South America, whatever the fuck that is. You feel me? 20 to 25% of this side of the planet was brought here unwillingly. 25% of the planet comes from a different culture and where slaves were bought and traded for. This is a lot to take in history. It has a lot of nuances. But if you're Mexican, if you're Latino, if you come from these lands, south of this border, Yeah, dog. We are indebted to the black community. And I'm not talking about just me personally. I'm talking about us as a whole. You know? That rebellion could have died off. Seriously. It could have ended right when Morelos died. It could have ended when Hidalgo died. You need people to believe in something greater. You believe people in something better. You need people to go out there and carry the torch. You know, shout out to the homie Bryan for carrying my torch for 5 episodes. And I know it's difficult. And, you know, the way he took what's hood and the way I take what's hood are an interesting perspective, because he wants to learn what's in the books. I don't. History is so warped and tainted and just misused, you feel me? History in and of itself, like through the victors or through whatever, like there's a lot of lies and a lot of misconceptions. You know, one of the biggest things I tell people is like, how does a force of less than 1,000 people supposed to eradicate a whole fucking civilization? I don't buy it, dog. I don't believe it, because I've been home. I see the color of my skin tone and I know something else. I come out here to the States and I see places that carry relations to home. And it's not that Mexican relation. Nah, dog, it's indigenous shit. It's walking around here looking at cactuses and fucking nopales y tunas y todo ese desmadre, like the prickly pear, you feel me? The elotes de maíz, the tortilla, like, dog, there's, Black Lives Matter. That's truly, it's needed. Unity must be served. Unity must be observed. Unity must be accomplished. And for anyone that says that I'm selling my culture out for X, Y, or Z, understand that I'm gonna stand by those that work not to only better their situation, but the situation for others. However you feel about it, understand that a lot of these sacrifices, a lot of these ideas that you call freedom came at the cost of blood. You know? I said it once and I'll say it again. May you live in interesting times, really and genuinely, because it's for the betterment or the worse of humanity. I said it once when that fool got elected as president. It's needed. You need someone to incite, someone to provoke, someone to show you exactly what I've seen the entire time I've been here. And by here, I mean on this side of the fence. And I know what it's like on the other side too, dog. Corruption and oppression are a bitch. I'm glad that water from here is reaching Mexico, into places in which it's a global movement. What you're seeing right now is the failure of racism, dog. That's all there is to it. It's a failure of racism. You know, these inherently racist laws, these inherently racist things, like the fact that all you're seeing across all these social media posts are fucking motherfuckers getting beat, motherfuckers getting... Yeah, it used to be dogs in a water hose. Now it's fucking tear gas and less than lethal bullets. What's changed? They're no longer sicking dogs on you. Oh, no, that's a lie. I've seen a few dogs being let out. They're still sicking dogs on you. I'm not a fan of that rah-rah shit. I'm really not. You know? But I don't think I can ever just stand there and watch. Not me, dog. At the same time, I'd rather be carried by 6 than ever judged by 12. Fuck the ops. Fuck them all. Got no mercy for any of them. You're not born into it, dog. It's a career profession. You can take that shit off whenever you want. That's a joke, right? There's a lot to cover. There's a lot to discuss. You know, these protests, these riots, and these looting. Like, it's a discussion in and of itself. It really is a whole discussion, you feel me? From the peaceful protesters that line up and march to the ops that don uniforms using the exact same agenda protesters used to conceal their faces, to the looters of getting it how you live it, you feel me? These discussions are all multifaceted and multi-layered, but the only ones you gotta fully focus on is the first one, the protesters. The ones that are out there marching, the ones that are out there, you know, singing the songs and getting beat and getting abused, you feel me? There's so much evidence out there right now on how all of these racist individuals all just conspired to make this movement violent, conspired to make us look like animals, and I include us into the conversation because remember, truth be told, and it's gonna sound fucked up, blacks aren't the real target, dog. We're indigenous, we're mixed. That's every person that's mixed from Mesoamerica. Whether you're from Navajo tribes to Tlaxcalan, Chichimeca, Zapoteca tribes to Incan, Brazilian, Amazonian tribes, you feel me? It's to remind us, the descendants of the seed of the root, to submit. And I don't know about y'all, dog, but I don't know what that's like. They came here. They got here on a boat. You feel me? Like I said, man, if you're Mexican and you feel some type of way about black people, dog, fuck you. If it's a negative thing, it's a negative thought. Like all of that shit, dog, fuck you, because all you're doing is supporting the opposition, dog. You're supporting the ops. You're supporting bastards that don't give a fuck about us or our communities. You feel me? And that goes twice for you motherfuckers that wear the skin tone and still rock a badge. You know? I stand with the protesters. Not gonna lie. I feel no type of way about the looting. But the rioting, dog, don't ever get it twisted. It's not us. It really isn't us. It's those racist fucks that protested the government shutting down, that protested getting haircuts and getting your nails done. Those are the animals out there rioting. Those are the animals out there trying to guide the masses into violence. People forget that once you're in the crowd, once you're in it, mob mentality takes over, dog. That's why people end up getting trampled, crippled, crushed, whatever you want to call it, fool. It is what it is. Once again, I want to thank you, Bryan, for holding it down. I want to thank you for carrying the torch. I want to thank you for reminding me what teamwork is about. You know, I'm a very independent person. I'm a very, like, I grew up without. You know, I haven't been on What's Hood for the last 5 episodes because, you know, our homies in the struggle, dog. We got bills to pay. We got my fat ass mouth to feed. You feel me? And as the world turns, as the world goes, like I feel the weight of it sometimes. I see everyone jump on this bandwagon every few years, every couple of months. And it never sticks. It doesn't. But I've been on this. I've been about this. You feel me? If you know me, you know certain things about me. If you don't know me, what's up, dog? What's hood? Look, dogs, like I said, you know, back again, thank you, Bryan, for holding it down. You know, thank you for talking about La Piñata. Thank you for talking about Cinco de Mayo. Thank you for talking about cerveza. Thank you for talking about the ops and those two, you know, compas that passed away. I had their name somewhere, but I guess it was in my other notebook. And, you know, thank you also, Bryan, for holding it down with the mariachi topic. You feel me? Like I said, we back. I'm going to use these last maybe 5-10 minutes to talk about a couple of changes that I'm going to be doing to What's Hood. The format's going to change just a little bit. I'm still going to try to give you guys 2 episodes a week. The first one's going to be about this right here, 30 minutes long, just to give or take 20, 30. Small dialogue between us, you feel me? And on the other episode, I want to make the dialogue a little bit bigger, dog, because having these conversations by yourself don't really amount to nothing. You know, you need opposing thoughts and views. You need opposing ideas. You need to be able to have a solid, healthy debate about certain things within La Cultura and the movement and the whole nine, you feel me, that I feel that I like, dog, this isn't just about me. You feel me? As egotistical as I am, homie, don't it feel good to see people up on it? So the changes to What's Hood is like that second episode is going to be roughly about maybe a little bit longer, 40 to an hour long. I want to interview people. I want to have a discussion more with more folks. You feel me? I want to start reaching out to these activists and these individuals that I feel that motherfuckers need to be put up on game with. You feel me? These future, or well, not even future, not their current leaders, because whether you realize it or not, you standing up for social inequality, you standing up for financial inequality, you just standing up for inequality in and of itself, dog. It's a struggle, and it's a thankless job. It truly, really is. You feel me? And we don't. Well, I'm not concluding myself. I don't. They don't do it for the praise, dog. It's not about, you know, oh, good job. No, dog. Some of us really believe this shit. Some of us believe that our culture needs to get better, do better, be better. You feel me? That we have to grow. We have to grow as a. So like I said, I'm really excited for the future. I'm really excited for what's coming up. I'm really excited for what's next, you know. For all of you guys that have held me down, still listening to What's Hood, I thank you. For those new listeners that came in while Bryan was hosting down, what's up, dog? I'm the OG, I'm the FC, I'm the forever cabron of the network, you feel me? We on some other bullshit, I swear. But once again, I thank you guys. You know, we're going to change it up a bit for the outro for 30 seconds. Remember to like, review, subscribe, turn on the notification bell, leave a review, drop us an email, review us on Apple Podcast or whatever the fuck it's called. You feel me? Listen to us on Spotify. Pull us up on Stitcher. You know? Get great classic radio. Well, not radio, but podcast hits like Happy News with Perry Kurtz, The Reading Ronin, Sam of All Trades. What's up? That's Sam. Of course, our brand new hit runaway show, Rolling 420s, dog. You know what it is. Roll one up with the compas, with Thelonious Combat in the gang. You feel me? And of course, thank you for tuning in. And of course, listening to and holding our flagship down, dog, this, that, and the other. Where for Bryan, he wants to bring light to his other shows, dog. I want to bring light to him because he's on some other shit that I really do appreciate. You feel me? We may have a different thoughts and ideas and opinions. We may not always see eye to eye. He may have more insight than I do. But I'm just out here. Like I tell people all the time, thug living, not on purpose. You feel me? Well, dog, this is where I leave you guys. And like always, a compo catch y'all at the next light.